So in previous class, I had introduced you people two words. One is saprophyte and second one is gametophyte. Okay. Do you people
Yes,
remember these two terms? And these two terms, makes the cycle of life in the plants of the this one is will be surrounded by these two phases. One is gametophytic phase and another one is a sporophytic phase. You just remember these terms. These are scientific terms. And sporophyte is of diploid in nature. In means 2n, as it is there here. It's a 2n. Is the sporophyte what we mean? And that is multicellular diploid. 2n in a scientific way we call it as a diploid. It's a ploidy status of an cell. Okay. And then when the meiosis occurs, meiosis is a reduction division, as you have already read this one in the schools and colleges, where the 2n becomes n. Okay, that produces the haploid spores. Okay, and these haploid spores are multiplied by the process of mitosis to a n numbers. Okay, it's just multiplication process, and that is called as gametophytic or multicellular haploid stage. Okay, and then when the mitosis here in the gametophyte occurs, it multiplies the cells, and these becomes gametes. Then female gametes and male gametes, when they combine, that the process is fertilization, what we call. And then the combined, the product is called as zygote. Zygote is of 2n, n plus n is a 2n. And this 2n undergoes mitosis and then produces the diploid this. Okay, among this, all the cycle of this one continues, gametophytic and sporophyte. You just remember the what is the ploidy status of sporophytic cell and gametophytic cell. These are the two important terms that you need to remember. Then coming to an important what you mean to say, uh, these gametophytes and sporophytes has been depicted in a pictorial form in the development of for example, pollen grain or the male gametophyte or the pollen grain. In this there is a sporocyte, and then there is a meiosis occurring there. It's a reduction division, and 2n becomes n here, and they are called as microspores. They are 4 in number, and each of the microspores, when they all the 4, they become the pollen grains. And in the pollen grain there is a nucleus.
क्या करोगे? अभी तो हमारे पास कोई है नहीं ना.
Yes, somebody should, you people should meet yourself. And there is a generative cell that is in yellow color, that is called as a generative cell. This will form the two sperm cells. Okay, there is a nucleus of the tube cell. There is a one nucleus of the tube cell, and this is how a pollen grain will be developed. And this is how a mitosis meiosis occurs here. And coming to the female gamete development or the embryo sac development, in this there is an ovule and sporangium, a tissue surrounded by that, and there is a megasporocyte. And the surviving megasporocyte, it becomes embryo sac. In the embryo sac there is a ovule, there is a integuments, and there are 3 antipodal cells, and there is a 2 polar nuclei and 1 egg cell, and near to the egg cell there are 2 synergids. This is a very important. You need to remember this embryo sac, different kind of composition of these cells. And in this, coming to the here in this in case of female gametophyte development, in this, as in the previous slide, there are three antipodal cells. There are three antipodal cells in this end, and in the other end, opposite side of that one, there are two synergids, and there is a one egg. And in between the center, there are two polar nuclei. Here you can see three. Here you can see three. This side three, this side three, six, and there are two polar nuclei. Combinedly, there are 8 cells. Okay, and then when there is a pollen grain drops on the here, and then pollen, there is a pollen tube development. The pollen tube is a tube cell, and there is a generative cell. Okay, and then for example, generative cell that divides, and the what happens here, one of the this entire the tube content will be discharged inside this one embryo sac, and then one fertilizes the egg, that forms the zygote here. This one is the zygote, and another, it goes to this polar nuclei, and then becomes the that becomes two. There are already two cells, and then one goes here. There are 3n. This is 3n in number. This polar nuclei plus one of the two polar nuclei, plus these are the another two polar nuclei here in the embryo sac. Okay, and apart from that, then the one among this combines with the this one polar nuclei, and one fertilizes the egg. The whichever egg fertilizes the this egg cell, and that becomes a zygote, and the another goes and combines with the polar nuclei, and that becomes the endosperm. Endosperm is the kind of nutritive tissue that is surrounded by the zygote, and that helps as a in the process of seed germination. That is very, very important. And this, there is a one cell that is going to fertilize the egg, and another going to the polar nuclei. This entire process is called as double fertilization. This is how an double fertilization word comes into the picture here. Scientifically speaking of the kind of seed development, and this double fertilization conserves the resources, and nutrients only develop into ovule, while fertile egg. The ovule develops into a seed, and then ovary develops into a fruit that covers the seed. And here is the entire process. Here you can see here there are 3 antipodal cells at this side. There are 2 synergids here. There is a 1 egg cell, and there is a polar nuclei. And here really initial stage, the pollen tube, whatever comes here, it has got only 2 haploid cells here. One is the generative cell, and is the tube cell. Okay, this is generative cell, and then another is tube cell. So this generative cell divides the below one, here upper one, it divides and it becomes 2. That produce the haploid sperm cell. And then the sperm cell enters into the cytoplasma here in the embryo sac, and then cytoplasm synergids, and it enters here. And the synergids breaks down, and one sperm nuclei fertilizes the one egg here, and forming the zygote, and the first cell of the 2n sporophyte generation. This is how a zygote 2n will be developed here. And the other one here, this is among 2 other one, and that what it does is it unites with the 2 polar nuclei here in the center, and that becomes the 3n, and that is an endosperm. So you need to remember these 2 terms, double fertilization. Okay, then coming to the, see, this is how the internal process goes on. Here, if you look into a plant, and this is a mature plant, see there is a flower, it is having a pollen grains here, and these are the roots. Okay, and if anybody asks you, if anybody takes the plant which is not yet flowered. It's not yet flowered. It's not having any flower. That mature plant is the what we call that mature plant is a sporophyte. That sporophyte is having a 2n number of chromosomes. Okay, and then the flower inside the flower, when pollen grains comes, that pollen grain is having the gametophyte, that is n in number. Just need to remember that is important to remember here. For example, if you look here, see this is an these are the roots and these are the flowers. If you take the only the flower of the plant, here this is the female part, this is the female part, and these are the anthers, they are called as the male part here. And the when a anther sac that ruptures, there is a pollen grains, germinated pollen grains. They are called as male gametophyte. Gametophyte, you need to remember, they are haploid in status, and they fall into the stigma or the carpel here in the this one, and the pollen germinates. It germinates and it goes inside here. Okay, and then this is called as pollen tube of the pollen, and this is the ovary of the base of the carpel, and this is the ovule inside the this one is the ovule, and here is the embryo sac. Here what we get is a female egg, and this is a sperm. And after the fertilization, here you can look into the things here. Here the after this the fertilization, this ovule, for example, egg, female egg or ovule becomes, that is, zygote, means the status of egg haploid to changes to diploid 2n, and there is an embryo sporophyte, means there is a double fertilization, that is that the two nuclei goes and join to a polar nuclei here, and that becomes the endosperm. Okay, and then this entire process, this is how an seed is developed. And this is how in a plant, for example, this is an embryo, and the sporophyte is a 2n, and there is a zygote inside, and the upper part of this one, for example, this ovary, this ovary above part of this one, that becomes the fruit. That fruit we eat. Whatever the fruit we eat is the outside the ovule is the fruit, scientifically what we eat. And the inside seed, that is what is developed from the ovule, and this seed we use it for the further germination. This is how a life cycle of a seed continues. And this seed is, for example, in the seed production, we were speaking of isolation distance. See, if the seed, in case of cross-pollinated crop, the pollen of other crops comes and falls on the stigma of the other variety, where there is a varietal mixtures, or there is a contamination of the purity of that variety. That is the reason why in case of seed production, we will take care of isolation distance. And there is another term in case of seed production we use is the roguing. Roguing is a process where we will take out the off-type plants. Off-type plants in the sense the plants they are not look similar to the our variety. Suppose our variety is having some green leaf foliage color, and the other variety, which is admixture or the mixture that is there in the field, and that is having the different kind of foliage, means it's a light foliage color. In such conditions, what we do is we'll take out that entire plant from the seed production plot. This is how an life cycle of an seed here. You people, you are following this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have a fertilization,
Yes.
and then there is a fruit development, and then seed. Okay, and after the when seed germinates, there is a then sporophytic seedling will continue, and then there is a saprophyte, and then gametophyte. Okay, this is how the cycle continues. Okay, and you need to remember in this figure the haplophyte and the haploid and diploid status of the things here. That is important. Okay, Then coming to the, for example, in case of development of ovular seed with the embryo and nutrient supply. For example, here you see this is a flower and this is a ovule that becomes a fruit, and this is a, endospermous nucleus, and these are different integuments. And then here the zygote, when zygote starts multiplying, this is how endosperm that is outside here, see this is endosperm, that is how it will be supporting to this for example this zygote. And they are cotyledons in the sense they are two cotyledons. Here they are, and there is a shoot apex here inside, and there is a root apex here in the this one. There is a suspensor cells here, and this is how when we for example when we plant these seeds and this cotyledons, there is a shoot comes and there is a root comes, and like this there is a development stage. Okay, if you look into the zygote in the process, there is a termination, terminal cell, there is a basal cell, and then the pro embryo suspensor cell, and this becomes, it goes on dividing with respect to, here happens is a mitosis. Okay, and the due course of mitosis, this the number of cells increase and they become protoderm, ground meristem, and procambium. These are the different cell pathways that gives the different kind of structures to this one. And then there is a seed coat, and there is an endosperm, and entire zygote. It's a kind of miniature plant inside. This is how there's a complex nature of the complex nature, how nature has made to protect the seeds. There are different layers that will be protected by the zygote, is protected by different layers. Okay, so please remember these things, this endosperm, this is what we eat from the seed. Whatever major part in the seed is endosperm. Endosperm is the nourishment for the embryo, and this nutrient rich endosperm is eaten by humans. We eat this endosperm. Okay, and coming to the, here you can look into the this slide where these are the haploid spores, the anthers, pollen grains here in the nature, and then they fall on the stigma. This is how there is a pollen grain, there is a tube nuclei, and there is a fertilization. Like this, there is a zygote formation, and coming to the, there is a seed coat, embryo inside, and then becomes the fruit. Okay, and the fruits are having different seeds here inside, and when the seeds are seed germinates and embryo goes into this embryo inside. For example, in the previous this one, there is a root, there is a shoot that develops with the help of this nourishment. There is an endosperm that it is utilized by the entire germination process. And this is how a cross section anthers looks like. And then this is the epidermis. There is a mesophyll cells, they are protective one, and there is a vein of that this one. This is a pollen grain. See, this is a pollen grain, and the pollen grain has got a protective outer layer, and that protects the inside the this is called as a pollen wall. And this gives a waterproof, and it prevents the moisture evaporation from the pollen grain. And there is most of these pollens, there are pollen allergy to many people. That's because there are proteins outside this pollen wall that gives to the allergy to the many people. So there are exceptions in the nature. There is a tube cell, there is a cytoplasma, there is a nucleus inside, and there is a nucleolus, and there is a generative cell, nucleolus. Okay, and you can look into the different this structure what is nature has created. This divides by mitosis and makes the many cells. For example, if I give a diagram like this, a pollen grain, for example, if you look into like this pollen grain, so you people you need to for example, There is a pollen wall. You need to understand this is a pollen wall. There is a tube cell, okay, and there is a generative cell. Inside the pollen grain, there are two cells. That is, one is a tube cell, and another is called as generative cells. And inside the this pollen grain, there is plasma, and there is a nucleus, and there is a nucleolus. So you need to understand this basic concept. This will be there in the exam. So I will give a picture like this, and you need to note which is a tube cell, which is the generative cell. Okay. And then,
Sir, inside the tube cell, generative cell is there, na?
yes, there is, for example, inside, not inside here. For example, here this is entire pollen grain. Okay, this is a pollen grain. This is a tube cell. One side is a tube cell, and this is a generative cell. This pollen grain becomes, when it falls on the stigma, it becomes a tube-like structure. It grows. Inside that, there is a tube cell and there is a generative cell. Okay. So you need to remember that one. Okay. And then, for example, the path of the tube divides, they divide, and then makes the two sperm cells both have syngamy. Okay. Here, for example, here, in case of, for example, it digests to the path to the egg, locates micropyle, enters to the embryo sac, and it bursts to release sperm. For example, this tube cell, it travels through the tube, and there is this generative cell. That generative cell that divides in the tube by the mitosis, and then they makes the two sperms, and those two sperms, they go and join with the polar nuclei, and then they become, okay, and then they become, there is a fertilization that we call a double fertilization. Okay.
Sir, please repeat. So I couldn't get your point.
Okay. So here you could understand this, for example, this structure, entire structure you could understand.
Yes, sir.
Tube cell, and there is a generative cell.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is how a pollen grain looks like. Okay.
Yes, sir.
This much is clear. And inside
Yes.
the cytoplasma, and there is a nucleus. This is a nucleus, and there is a nucleolus. Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Nucleus is okay. Nucleolus is okay.
Yes, sir.
This much is okay. I think
Yes, sir.
you are not following this slide. You need to get the previous slide then. Because this entire process is, you just remember here. Whatever I was explaining here it is what is called as a double fertilization. Why we call it as a double fertilization? See here, I was telling inside the pollen grain, for example, initially, this what I was depicting in that slide. There is a one, it contains two haploid cells. This is a generative cell, and another is the tube cell. This much is clear. Number one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this much is clear. This, you look to this structure, and there the mitosis happens. Here you look into the generative cell divides in producing two haploid sperm cells. You got this one?
Yes, sir.
They are the generative cells. Generative cells, they generate the two haploid sperm cells. Okay, this much is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next stage is these sperm cells, they enter into the cytoplasma of synergid. Okay, and here are the
Yes, sir.
cells. Here are the synergid cells, adjacent to the egg cell. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and the synergids breaks down. One sperm nuclei fertilizes the egg, forming a zygote. This is the first cell of the 2n sporophyte of the generation here. Okay, when among this, see this, there is a question, you may have a question in your mind. There is a tube cell also here. When
Yes, sir.
comes here in contact with the synergids, okay, that synergids, then recognition of the synergids by these tube cells, there is a recognition process. By that, the synergids breaks, and then the roll up tube cell is over here. And then comes the roll up. We have got roll up. My screen is sharing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and here there comes the role of these two sperm cells. These two sperm cells, what happens? One goes here because there is a, this has already recognized the synergids here. Synergids breaks down, and then this pollen grain goes inside and fertilizes the egg. That is called as zygote. This becomes a zygote. And there is another sperm nuclei. Okay, what it does is it goes here to the polar nuclei here in the embryo sac. This polar nuclei, this n, this n, and here also there are polar nuclei. They are two in number, n and n. There is a sperm cell that is also got an n number. It goes and combines here. It becomes 3n. The polar nuclei plus a sperm cell. You are clear?
Sir, I couldn't get your last point because of network connection. Only last point.
Last point is here, one fertilizes the egg cell, right? That becomes a zygote.
Yes, sir.
Another goes and fertilizes here the polar nuclei. That becomes endosperm. Just remember
Okay, sir.
one. Endosperm and there is a zygote.
Sir, what is the role of tube cell then? Only for the recognition.
See, for example, in the nature, there are a lot of other pollen cells.
So sometimes foreign pollen grains they also fertilize. Then in
There
that
are-
case, what happens?
That is the reason why there is a identification mechanism whether this sperm cell or this pollen belongs to its own species or not. That is why the tube cell helps for the process of recognition. Okay, that's the reason why
Yes.
synergids break here and then give a path to the generative cells to fertilize the zygote. So for the egg. Okay, that is the reason why. Okay. Okay.
And sir, when foreign pollen grains they fertilize, then in that condition, what happens? Means they how they enter the synergids because they will
Here
not
there is a
recognize.
there
No,
is a
because
there is a complex mechanism. There is a enzymes, the proteins which recognize, and there is that proteins break down the cell wall of those synergids and then they break down. Okay, that is a recognition process. Means kind of there is a kind of lock and password kind of thing. Only it is possible. It allows only those who are having the passwords. Okay, like kind of thing. Okay.
sir, these recognition they also occur on the stigma or they occur only here physically.
Inside the for example, when it enters, it goes near to the embryo sac, and then there are the protective synergids here. Okay, this
So sir, it means sir, any foreign pollen grain which is landing on the stigma that will form the pollen tube and do all this process,
this
and
goes
after that get rejected
that rejected. Yes, that is
if not of the same species.
yes. Okay.
Okay,
That's
sir.
very
Yes,
interesting.
sir.
This one, there are complex other mechanisms too. I have made it very simple to in a layman's language that you will understand. And I think we are running out of time. There are remaining time is around 5 minutes. So I will just rush it. I will just go through the next cell that you people will understand. This is how a pollen grains. You are clear here till the pollen grain. This is how with a tube cell and there is a generative cell, how it goes. See here, this is the stained pollen grain. This is how it germinates. There is a tube cell and there is a pollen nucleus. Okay. And this is how this is two sperm cells. There is a tube cells, and okay. See, this is how an cross section of an embryo sac. For example, three antipodal cells. There is a central cell. There is an egg cell. There is two synergids, and then this entire how this is form. Everything whatever I have depicted in the pictorial form, these are all the cross section views of the real plant tissues, how different cells had been arranged and how these cells are distributed. For example, here the central cell, this is how a polar this one that becomes an endosperm and that becomes a zygote here up to fertilization. And there are two synergid cells that release and disintegrate with this. Okay, that's how a process. And coming to the female embryo sac, for example, this is a little bit of quite complex process. See, you look into, there is 8 cells inside. You just remember there are 8 cells inside. Okay, there are 8 cells. In these 8 cells, 1, 2, 3 above one, they are called antipodals. There are polar nuclei are the central cells, and there is a one cell that is called as egg cells, and there are two synergids. See, 3 plus 2, 6 plus 2, 8. This is the embryo sac, this one. Okay, and this outer tissue, the red color is called as integument, and there is pinucleus and micropyle here at the end. This is how a structure of embryo sac in a ovule. Okay, this is how cross section that depicts the embryo sac. Okay, the syngamy here means the fertilization. In a scientific terms, this is called as fertilization. Syngamy is called as fertilization. Okay, and then egg becomes zygote. Central cell or the polar cell becomes the endosperm, and ovule becomes the seed, and integument becomes the seed coat, and ovary wall, the entire ovary wall, that becomes the fruit. Okay, what we eat. And this is how this is today's lecture.
Sir, ovary is called, ovule is converted to seed, integument is seed coat, and ovary is?
Ovary becomes the ovary wall. Entire ovary wall becomes a fruit.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, you just remember the last but one slide where after fertilization, what becomes what is important. For example, egg becomes zygote. The polar nucleus, the central cell becomes endosperm, is 3N, and then ovule becomes the seed, and then integument becomes the seed coat, and there is a ovary wall becomes the fruit. Is clear till now?
यस सर. सर आपने एक स्लाइड दिखाया था क्रॉस सेक्शन का, तो उसमें रोडोडेंड्रॉन मैक्सिमम है, तो वो कॉमन लैंग्वेज में कौन सा वर्ड मतलब क्या है? बॉटनिकल नेम ये था, तो मतलब कॉमन क्या है?
What I didn't follow. What Anupama क्या?
Sir, the name of the species, genus and species was Rhododendron maximum, I guess, in the cross sectional.
Actually, that is rhododendron, क्योंकि उसमें cross section अच्छा आता है, इसीलिए उसको
इसको कौन सा है सर? मींस कॉमन लोकल लैंग्वेज में इसको क्या बोलते हैं रोडोडेंड्रॉन को?
रोडोडेंड्रॉन आप लोग थोड़ा सा सर्च करना।
बुरांस का फूल। अच्छा।
रोडोडेंड्रॉन लोकल लैंग्वेज में मुझे भी पता नहीं है कि क्या बोलते हैं, जस्ट गूगल इट।
ओके, नहीं सतीश जी ने बता दिया सर।
ओके, ठीक है। लोकल लैंग्वेज में मेनी टाइम्स इट्स डिफिकल्ट, यू नो। आई मे टेल यू व्हाट दे कॉल इन कन्नड़ा बट नॉट इन हिंदी। ओके, सो so quite different in local languages. Okay, I think you people are clear with this.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
if
sir.
you have any doubt, so you can. I'll be sharing you the this one, the slides, so that you can just read it, and then you have any doubt, so you can just raise the doubts in the next class. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.